a family, and they had a dog. He was doing fine. They did a check-in after a couple months. He was doing good, but all of a sudden he started doing a 180, and they claim, I say claim because my vet was like, I bet they lied, but they claim that he bit someone and got aggressive. So they immediately surrendered him, only for the animal shelter to take him to the vet and find he had two foreign bodies. He had a blockage from toys,
Mm.
Well,
and they surgically removed them, and ever since he's been fine.
he was just ouchy.
So
Exactly.
so the poor dog was blocked up and was not happy.
No.
And no,
And like
yeah,
even then, he wasn't like, even the vet was like, I doubt that he got aggressive,
yeah.
honestly, because
I mean,
he is so chill.
looking at his disposition, yeah, he's just like, yeah, whatever, roll with the punches. All right, Erica, when you get a second, see if we
Yep.
are streaming, please.
Refresh. Aw, I see a thing. I see an us. We're streaming.
Okay. All right.
You
So
all, hello, internet lands. You're gonna see me finish my lunch.
we have no viewers yet, but that's okay. And Erica,
This is for posterity.
yes, it is. I mean, the whole recording release for our own posterity, for our own video archiving. But um, Erica, when you get a chance, type in a. Let me do it on my side. Hi, hang on. Kind of check our chat.
I can just do like a.
Yeah, well, I did. Okay. Okay, we're good. All right, so ladies, let's go ahead and review a little more in terms of what's going on with the party itself. So we are not playing next week. So while I always encourage you guys to upload character sheets for that one-off situation of someone not being able to make it, especially last minute, we have a character sheet. So please try to find a few minutes to do that. But in terms of scheduling, we will not be playing next week. That extra session has now been scratched, and we will play again on November 2nd. As for our adventuring party, I'm showing Malachi is your human paladin, first level, AC 4, currently maxed out, hit points 10. I'm sorry. Cassie said she got called into work when she was getting ready. I'm so sorry, downfall with being. Okay, so it sounds like she's not going to make it tonight. So then it brings up a question, case in point of what's her character sheet. So we'll get to that here in a second. But Rayla is your half elf, second level cleric, first level ranger, AC 4, hit points maxed out at 17 is what I show. Licia, the half elf druid, first level, AC 7, hit points 9 down to 4. Muriel is your elf, magic user thief, first level both, AC 7, hit points 5 maxed out. Libra is the half elf druid, first level also, AC 6, hit points 9. I don't know what spell she has. Pass without a trace and fairy fire maybe.
Yes.
Balefear
I'm pulling
is
up
the
her.
second level elven thief, AC 8, hit points maxed out at 7. And lastly, you have Pacifica, who is your charmed fighter, human fighter, that is besties with Muriel. And he's in pretty decent shape overall. So, Rain, you said you're trying to find a character sheet for.
Yeah, I already
Libra.
got Libra's character sheet up.
Okay. Then it sounds like you own it tonight.
Okay.
And it is pass without a trace, right? And pass without a trace and fairy fire.
Yes, I believe so. Let me just double check
Okay.
where she put
And
it.
Rayla, since you leveled up as the cleric, 1, 2, 3, 4, you now have four first level spells, right? I'm showing you with guiding light, cure light wounds, which you have used, healing word, and shield of faith.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. Licia has entangle, purify, food and drink. Muriel has charm person and shield. And those are the
Right.
spells at your disposal. In the last session, amongst the debris, the creature remains of in and around the owl bear. Libra had found a scroll, had kind of found like a hollowed bone, a scroll case, if you will, made out of a bone. So I guess whatever creature that was had some serious osteoporosis, and they just kind of, whittled it down a little bit. And inside that, she found her parchment, found a scroll, and that scroll was scroll of, I think, protection from undead is the way in which it was titled. I'm double
Is there
checking
scroll of the
myself on
undead?
that now. Yeah, a scroll of protection from undead. Now, ladies, refresh me if you will. Rin was not here a couple sessions ago, and at that time, 2 sessions back, at the keep, at the guild house, you guys have rented a choker of linguistics.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
remember who that was or what that rental arrangement was.
It was me, and I paid it off. Because I gave it back because it
Okay,
didn't work for what we needed.
okay, very good then. All right, so I think we're all up to. I'm up to speed, I believe. Does anyone have any questions here over the past session or two that we need to address before we can jump right in it and get back to where we left off? Okay. Silence is
What's
golden.
my motivation, DM?
Oh Jesus. Motivation for. I
Just kidding. Just kidding.
was gonna say motivation for who? For what? I get it now. You're busting my chops for casting. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you now. All right, smart ass. Okay.
We have a question. Can we learn the spell? Can any of us learn the spell from the scroll?
Can any of us learn this? Learn the spell. That's a trick question. So, okay, that must be I'll say the new guy, the guy who's expressed interest in Tuesday night. So, the way that game mechanic works for us, technically, I don't know technically how 1E rules is written would allow for that, but the way we play that is the scroll can be cast from the scroll, single use, disposable, disintegrates, the writing erases, however you want to describe that. So that's a one-time deal. Generally speaking, I play that anyone can use a scroll. You don't have to be a cleric to use a clerical scroll because all the magic is essentially in the scroll. So anyone can cast any scroll. Now, it can be transcribed to a spell book if you have the proper ink to do so, because it does require special ink to do so. Once it is transcribed, depending upon the ink, sometimes the transcription will allow the preservation of the scroll. So now you have the scroll, one-time use, and you have it in your spell book for future studies. And therefore you have both accessible to you. Now with a spell book, I do also have my house rule that in an emergency, well, at any time, usually an emergency situation, you can cast directly from your spell book as if it were a scroll by the magic user who has the spell book, who can decipher that, since the magic itself is not embedded into the spell book itself. However, if casting directly from the spell book, it then erases it from the spellbook and you forever lose it as an option. Now, in this case, with a clerical scroll, there's no spellbooks involved for clerics, so there would be no transcription into a spellbook for that, since it is a clerical spell. Spells for clerics are embodied upon them through their deities.
So it's a consumable then.
So in this case, it's a consumable, 100%. Yes. Well, I mean, all scrolls are, but yes, yeah, I see. I know what you're saying though, but yes, I agree. It is a consumable, 100%. There is no chance of preservation in any way, shape, or form.
Excellent.
So, okay, so you see the map up here on the screen. We are in Cave G in the general area of 3234. I think the two blue dots are supposed to represent maybe you guys as the party, and the four elves that you have now encountered. I thought we were outside with that.
I
Um,
thought we were too.
okay,
I think we were outside, but they went and went inside after we finished talking.
okay.
I
So
Yeah.
don't think they believed us when we told them
Yeah.
that we slayed the owlbear ourselves, and they were like, "Yeah, no, you did not. There's no way." They took one look at us, and they're like, "No." So they went back in, I thought, to check that.
okay,
Yeah.
that sounds familiar as well. All right, so
Purpose,
that
I don't
means
know.
then, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to put one single dot to represent you, the party. We'll give you kind of yellowish dot and kind of put you outside here. And that's probably why we kind of unpainted or unfogged this particular area. Now, if you remember just as well, you had a problem in Area 32 where you ran into this kind of black slime-ish thing. Um,
33.
Oh, okay.
yeah, 33. I'm sorry, up top there, by the pool, right? The pool of mysterious water there, and Libra had a tough time with that. It kind of coated her, ruined some armor, it ate through some leather or wood stuff she had, and you guys are all
Disaster.
freaking out. And Pacifica said, "Just take your clothes off." I mean, like, what's the problem? The man of reason, the man who you all believe to be as dumb as rocks, but he's come through on
Not
more than one
anymore.
occasion. Yeah, he's come through on more than one
Well,
occasion to set you guys straight, and demonstrate that he has been around the block, perhaps more than just once.
I
So,
think Pacifica is a wonderful example of the difference between intelligence and wisdom.
yes, because
I think
correct, he has some wisdom, but man, does he not have intelligence?
He does not have intelligence.
No.
he can
So,
be the smartest in the group though because our track record.
yes.
Yes,
So, despite
seriously.
any numerical scores of intelligence, your track record has made him look perhaps smarter than what he actually is. Okay, so the orange or yellowish dot, not orange, is going to represent the party here as we're going to begin in about 2 seconds. So, we reviewed characters. Everyone's good. Cure Light Wounds has been used. All of the spells at your disposal. Cure Light Wounds, I'm going to surmise, was used on Alicia as she had went into a negative hit point
Yeah,
during the Owl Bear encounter. I don't recall the specifics of that, but that's what we're kind of piecing together here.
yeah, riggedy
So,
wreck. Oh my
Libra
gosh.
used fairy fire and I used entangle.
oh, that's right, because you tried to use Entangle and it had minimal effect. Okay, and Fairy Fire. Okay, thank you for clarification. Okay, so ladies, you are here on that yellowish dot just outside the cave entrance, which, if you remember, smelled very heavily of death and decay. Now you'd be safe for you all to think that's probably came from the stench of the rotting flesh, the leftover bones, and a little bit of flesh here and there on the bones, all the remnants of the multiple, countless meals that the owl bear has been partaking in for an unknown amount of time, days, weeks, perhaps, since there was piles, of this decaying, melting flesh of various creatures. So as you kind of make your way back out here into the valley of the day rain, the 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 odor, the stench begins to kind of stifle and fall away, literally and figuratively, behind you as the rain begins to fall upon you ever so gently, making its way through the tall canopy of the tree cluster, squashing the remnant odor of the cave, and beginning to pitter patter on your gear, on your head, starting to feel that dampness, that wetness. And I'll ask you, the adventuring party, what do you so desire? Where do you feel the need to go? What do you need to do? The adventuring party is in pretty decent health overall. Um, you have a mission here in the Valley of the Day Rain to essentially squash all the evil which exists. You've had some internal conflict here of exactly what that means, as the creatures themselves have been inherently evil but have not necessarily shown strong demonstration of that to the party. And on a couple occasions when you guys got rather aggressive in your approach, or rather bold in your approach, Malachi, your lawful good paladin, kind of started to reel you back a little bit, kind of scolded you on a couple occasions, to the point where he said, "Listen, if you guys don't smarten up here, tighten up, and be a little more righteous, I can't be hanging out with you guys anymore. So, not to say that you have a direct ultimatum, but there is a little something,
We
on
have a
the
direct
line
ultimatum.
here. Yeah. So, what's the next step for you guys?
I thought we were
We
gonna
had
put up
left.
shelter, right?
What's that, Rayla?
I thought we were gonna put up shelter, or am I wrong?
Yeah, we were
That's
gonna
what I was
camp
gonna
out.
ask.
The
Next
Valley of the
time,
Day Rain at night.
Muriel,
Okay.
please keep our sword-loving friend within ice shot this time.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna keep a good eye on our buddy.
He might have some wisdom, but we don't need to be picking up fights in the middle of the night with gnolls and
And
stuff.
I do recall we're not far from. Wow. Can you hear that? No.
I
Only
hear.
vaguely.
There's a child screaming outside.
Oh,
Oh, not
I
that
can't
then.
hear that. No, I heard something kind of faint in the background, almost like you had a dog behind you, like chewing on a bone or something.
No, no, a kid just went "Ah!" as loud as they possibly could outside.
No,
Anyway,
I just thought
uh,
maybe it was remnant sounds of the owl bear.
yeah, maybe that's what it was. Um, I totally forgot what we were doing. Oh, this particular patch of trees, Pacifica had gotten distracted by earlier in our adventure because he had found some goblins in there.
Yeah, I think no, that was over here around Cave F. Something up there had caught his attention when you guys were in
Oh, okay, good.
between these two. Whoops, these two tree clusters here. You're in between here or something. You're traveling from
Okay.
one to the other, or trying to travel up to a cave, and yeah, something to that effect.
Okay, all right. So if this is a fresh set, then I would want to know what Malachi was feeling.
Okay, so I guess Malachi will walk up and do his thing with detect evil within the trees.
So what does that look like when you?
So
So I
Malachi,
detect him.
with his innate ability as the paladin, the clerical warrior, if you will, um, he takes a few steps forward confidently into the cluster of trees, and he kind of holds his symbol that he has here, a little necklace perhaps dangling from his chest, and he concentrates with his hand out, closes his eyes, and he kind of pans very slowly, as if he's taking a slow motion video, right? Super slow. And it takes him a few minutes, several minutes, 3, 4, 5 minutes perhaps, to even go the full, almost 180 degrees to get you the full coverage of the tree cluster. Now, being that he has a 60-foot effective range on that, give or take, that's probably going to get you through about the entire tree cluster. Give or take a little bit here or there. But he reports back to you that he feels not only confident and comfortable with the power of his deity to say to you that there is nothing in this tree cluster that will do you harm.
That's relieving. Um, we do have a ranger with us, right? Particularly good at survival.
You have a what?
A ranger who's particularly good
Yeah.
at survival.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's.
so
I'm
Malachi thought.
I'm really good at shooting entangled things. That's what I'm really good at, and I'm frozen.
No, okay.
Yeah, your
Well,
radio
Hang
is
on.
maybe it'll
frozen.
help.
Hold on. I'm frozen. Hold on.
We're holding.
Oh, she's gone. There she is.
And she's back.
Back. He's
All
back.
right, and I'm moving again. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yay!
again, ladies, just another
Um,
great example for our viewers that we have some not so unique, I suppose, technical difficulties with Discord and OBS Studios. Two
Oh no,
great
that's
free
fine.
tools, nonetheless. And then you combine that with 1, 2, 3, 4 different individual Wi-Fi streams, right? Shit happens. It
Well, I had
happens.
to jump off Discord to pull up Malachi's sheet because I
So,
forgot to put it up on my phone. So that
okay,
was my fault.
okay. All right, so
you're
ladies, you
good.
guys are in the tree
You're good.
cluster of G. What say you?
I I would turn to our ranger friend and be like, I just heard that, well, Malachi seems to think it's safe here. Do you see any particular good spot to? I mean, I'll probably just climb a tree.
Yeah, I'm
Malachi
gonna
and I will
climb a
probably climb
tree.
trees.
I'm gonna look for the tallest tree and climb it with my super duper climbing skills.
All right, Rayla, the ranger with super duper climbing skills.
Really, ranger.
How? Well, we haven't really fleshed out, fully developed our encumbrance system yet, which is still in the works. Um, what kind of armor are you wearing? How encumbered are you? Without getting into specificity of, but what kind of armor do you have to be climbing a tree with?
Um, I my AC is 4.
You had studded, I think. You
I do
upgraded
have
to studded.
I'm thinking
I
chainmail because chainmail and shield is AC4.
Oh, okay.
yeah, because
I know it
isn't
was one
chain
of them.
considered light armor, right?
Going off the top of my head, I want to say chainmail is about 30 pounds.
I the only reason I upgraded
Really
was
heavy.
because I was told it was light.
Chainmail is considered fairly bulky and weighs about 30 pounds.
That
So
sucks.
to hang on to give you a point of reference, studded leather. Studded leather is also fairly bulky and 20 pounds. So you get about 10 pounds more weight, which makes sense because you're wearing full metal versus essentially leather, right? But remember, it drops your armor class like 2 points by comparison.
So I guess what
Yeah.
I'm going to do to make it easier, I'm going to take off my armor.
Okay.
So I'm just in my clothes,
And since
and then
since
I'll hold
Muriel was
it.
the one being
I'll
so
hold it.
inquisitive, Muriel presumably would be the one to assist you in doffing DOF, right?
Mhm.
Doffing your armor. Of course, you feel a certain level of unease in all things considered in the environment which you're in, as you are now increased vulnerability, not wearing what you feel so comfortable with. But
Actually, no, I'm feeling all right.
but
My HP just went up, so I'm feeling all right.
but
I'm
in
testing
order
back.
to accomplish what you're trying to do, for reasons not yet identified, you are trying to climb a tree and
I'm
climb as
trying to find.
high as you can. And for what purpose are you trying to climb this tree?
I
Holding
want
yourself.
to scan for. I guess if I can see little like any open areas within the tree patch, a good spot to make camp, and if I can see if if there's any dangers that Malachi couldn't get with his
Okay, so you want to essentially be in the tree cluster and slowly find one tree that seems to be standing out above all the others, so you can get above the entire canopy and look out in the entire valley. Is that what you're trying to achieve?
well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to look over the entire valley, it's
Okay.
just at least this tree cluster.
Okay. So as you begin climbing the tree to accomplish this, your very bright, very wise friend Pacifica. And I will share with you, as
Why?
wise as he has been for you guys, his wisdom is not much better than his intelligence, which really sucks. But anyway,
That's really funny.
but anyway, he
He's
says
just a lucky guy.
he says, Ms. Muriel, why? What is wrong with her? Why is she climbing a tree?
I'm not entirely sure. I just asked her to find a good sleeping spot for us, because she's so good at ranging. And I just offhand said, not that it would really, I'm gonna sleep in a tree probably, because, elves do that sort of thing. That's what
How,
Balthier
how,
and I did last time. So maybe she's looking for like a spot for herself to sleep.
how am I supposed to find a clearing and a cluster of trees? I would have to go up
We
high
Well,
to
hang on.
look.
You're already I already got you. You're climbing up the tree. That's why he spoke to Muriel.
Oh,
Rayla, make me a I'm going to kind of grant you the ability to climb a tree, especially since you're unencumbered as you are now. Taking off your pack, taking off your armor, obviously leaving a shield behind if you had one, I believe,
yeah.
and kind of scaling this
I'm kind of
tree.
standing here like,
Um,
oh
I'm
God, I'm
so
all
basically
this.
my
so make me a wisdom check That is like a perception check to see what it is you might be able to assess as you kind of get towards the top of the canopy. So Muriel, your friend Pacifica is inquisitive as to why she's doing that, and he says,
Mhm.
"Why don't we just walk outside the trees and go up the side of the ravine and
I
look out
didn't
that
ask.
way?"
Um, I didn't ask. I didn't want to assume. Maybe the stranger has her own way of doing things, you know?
Okay. He says, "Well,
I
well,
also
that's
kind of
that
feel
that
like it was my fault.
that's fair." And you guys have been demonstrating all the more that you are becoming more and more dependent upon my skills and my knowledge.
Oh,
So I
I
think
thought
that
we were
perhaps
always
I shall
dependent on
be
that.
Muriel. Perhaps you should come with me. Let's you and I be bold together, and leave this tree cluster and walk up to the top of the valley, and that way we can survey the entire land. He says.
Never split the party.
So I was just gonna say, I was like, well, let's wait for her to get down, maybe. Hey, Pacifica has an idea. Oh wait, no, blah, blah, blah. How do you say hey, hey? Oi, oi.
Uh,
I rolled a 15 on my wisdom, and my wisdom's a 15. So
okay, so you met your wisdom. Got you. Okay, so I will say, Rayla, that. Okay, and tell me again, what is it you're looking for?
I am looking for two things. One, I'm looking for a nice little clearing within this cluster of trees to make camp that
Okay,
is safe and secluded. And the
okay,
second thing, just seeing if Malachi missed anything um, from his
gotcha. Okay,
detecting role.
all right. So as you are ascending, you're making your way slowly up this tree, kind of chosen quasi at random, right? Look up and say, "Oh, that one looks like it's climbable," because not all trees are climbable, or some are more easier than others to climb. If you remember that as a kid, because well, I haven't climbed a tree since I don't know if you have, but anyway. So if you tried to climb a tree recently, then you will know what I'm talking about. So some
Mhm.
trees are easier to climb than others. They got more branches and lower branch. Anyway, so you make your assessment. You
Some
find
trees
the
are just
tree
good
for which you
climbing
feel
too.
comfortable with, perhaps even guided by Licia and Libra, the druids here amongst you, who are much more in tune with the nature itself versus the survivability skills of the ranger, and they kind of guide you as to which one might suit you best. And as you begin to make your ascents here, get yourself maybe a quarter of the way up, and your view set, starts to become a little more obscured as all the other trees, start having their branches at that level. So it gets a little harder for you to, I'll say, pan across or throughout the tree cluster. But as you do, you don't see anything that's particularly outstanding. As you said, that perhaps Malachi would have missed, despite his level of confidence that he had in his deity and his skills in channeling the energies and the ability of that. And as you continue your ascent further up, it gets a little more challenging, as you'd imagine. The branches get, all the more dense, as it is for you to try to navigate every which way, kind of slowing your travel. But you get high enough where you can start where the canopy starts to break a little bit. I wouldn't say that you've really penetrated all the way through the canopy, and there's one tree that just really stands out, and you happen to have chosen it. But get enough where the canopy gets a little thinner, and you can kind of survey a little bit, but not in the sense where you can kind of see what's in this tree cluster, in the sense where, oh, if we go 50 feet that way, I feel confident there's an opening, a clearing within the tree cluster. The what's my looking? The ground level around all the trees. There's a word for that in a tree cluster. Not the canopy is the top. The ground. So you don't
Ground
really find
level?
anything outstanding there, but you do see that up over here to the northeast, which would be kind of over here. While there are no trees, it appears to be a little bit of a flat section with some tall grass. So it may not offer visual protection, but the landscape itself seems receptive to making a campsite.
Okay.
Bad idea.
Um, but
Eating
but
the
Yeah.
but
woods in
other than
that
that,
cave.
from your kind of obscured perspective, and perhaps even almost limited in terms of your radius or line of sight, that is what you're able to kind of hone in on and single out.
So I guess what I'll do is I'll head back down and relay that information with the patch of land there, but emphasize it's probably a bad idea to go up there.
Libra goes out, do a flip when she's coming down.
Flip. Oh my gosh, yeah. Can I do a backflip off the tree and just land like
Ta-da!
Gonna land
I'm
like
gonna
a gymnast and do the one
what
side, one
roll?
side,
Do
one
I have to roll
side.
strength? Damn.
I'm sorry. What?
I believe in you.
Oh,
What do I have?
no, I'm. That's fine. Your acrobatic skills are second to none. No,
Oh,
no. If anything, that'd be a dex check. Okay, so what's your dexterity?
15.
Okay, go ahead and make that roll. Let's see how much of a
Alicia just nudges to Libra. I'm pretty sure you were being facetious, right?
I rolled a 12.
12. Okay, at least it's not a nat 20. For me to describe how you did a face plant.
Eight.
So you get down to like the last branch. You say, okay, well yeah, watch this, and you do your backflip and you land. You nail it, but you kind of stumble a little bit and maybe like stumble enough where you kind of took a knee. Um, but you are successful, at least to the extent that you're not embarrassing yourself on your final backflip to the ground.
Hey, that looks pretty good.
I'm just gonna.
Alicia and Libra start clapping.
Thank you, thank you.
Flash.
I usually do this in all armor, so being so light was just threw me off a
Yeah,
little
I'm
bit.
not clapping. I'm holding your stuff.
I'm gonna take it and can you ask? Hey, can you help me put it back on?
Yes, yeah, sure. We'll dawn this time.
Yeah, last
The
time
other
you
viewers.
doffed it. Now we're gonna don it.
Awesome.
Did you see what was it worth it? Did you see anything while you were up there?
Well, I relay the information about the clearing and stuff, but I think it's a bad idea to be so unprotected. Just leave it there.
Oh, there's a clearing, but
Is
would
it
be
near?
outrageous not
Is
to.
it near any caves that we've gone in?
Yes. Yes, it is. And we haven't where the flat area is. It seems like we haven't gone all that up all that way yet. So I think we should just move into these woods here for now, and whatever you guys think is best.
I always feel much more comfortable in the woods.
Me too. Me too.
Malfair does too. He just doesn't say it. He just kind of shrugs, which is pretty much all the emotion you're going to get out of him.
Yeah.
So does Alicia turns to Pacifica. So are you still gonna go survey the land, or you good with the woods?
He said, I don't mind staying in the woods. I just don't know if being on low ground is the smartest choice. Well,
Oh, I'm going to
he says, actually, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Alicia, I shouldn't have phrased it that way. Being on low ground is not the smartest choice. Being on high ground is the smart choice. It's just a matter of choosing the correct high ground.
The high ground isn't protected by trees. At least here we're protected by trees.
But were there not other trees higher up the hillside?
Not that I noticed. I wasn't looking for trees. I was looking for flat area, grass, non-tree full areas
Hmm.
in the certain cluster.
So, were you able to see all of those from where you were?
Yeah, I was not paying attention though.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, those tree clusters there, I'll say behind her or to the west. was not in her field of view. In fairness to Rayla and what she's now reporting to you, and her, her suggestion or what she found as a reasonable place to make camp. But you, as the adventuring party, have seen those other tree clusters, which are to the left side of the map to the west. Because when you first come in from the east, which is the right side of the map, you can see those tree clusters off at the far side of the valley up the hill.
Yeah, but we haven't explored those yet.
Well, correct. But everything that you see on the map right now, you guys at one point or another have at least set your eyes on that, have seen that.
I guess I turn to the group and like, hey, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to go explore um, the unknown ones, or just stay where Malachi says that he's very confident it's okay?
While Malachi is confident that this cluster is safe, keep in mind the 4 unknown elves that we just encountered are in the cave right by us and could potentially come by and either steal from us or do anything weird while we're sleeping or something.
Do you want to go all the way back to the keep then?
I don't think we'll have enough time to get back to the keep at this
I don't
hour.
think so either. And honestly, I don't want to go back to the keep. I think well, actually, at least you look a little peaky.
Did I
Are you all right?
I feel fine. I'm sure that a night of rest will help me up a little bit.
We also have the option of going to the other tree cluster that we are already familiar with, that we've slept in many times and only lost one horse to.
Hey, wait a minute, Pacifica says. Alicia, didn't you make a deal with the orc chief or the goblin chief or something about some arrows?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Pretty sure that deadline's coming soon if it hasn't passed.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Is
might be
there
like
any way
today.
that we could take refuge there?
That's a great idea, Pacifica. Let's just go clear out that cave. We'll have free entrance in because he's expecting it.
Yeah, and you know what? If we clear that whole cave, we can make it ours.
So
But we're like,
just to so you want us to go into the cave, pretend that we're friends, and then decimate them? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Malachi's gonna shut that one down real quick.
Gosh, why did you have to phrase it like that?
Because that's basically what you were saying.
We could have painted it in a much nicer picture. We could have been like, we'll go
No.
in.
well, actually, he says actually what I was thinking. Well, I don't object to your proposal because it's been several hours since my blade has tasted blood, but that's really not what I was thinking. I was thinking you've made friends with him.
Oh.
Maybe we could just talk to him and they could allow us to stay, right?
That is something that I have considered, but we also promised in a deal to bring him information that we weren't able to find.
So
Whoa.
what if we went back
What
to
weren't we
him,
able to find?
told him that we had what he wanted, we closed the door, and then we just take care of business, and then we just stay in his quarters.
Did he say specifically what information he wanted?
He wanted more information on what Lord de Sanderfall is planning.
Oh, so we could just tell him anything. We're gonna kill him anyway.
De Sanderfall. Sorry, I always want to put fall in there, but that is an interesting theory, but at the same time, we do have to understand that Malachi still sensed evil on them. So,
Yeah, I'm still hoping we can take care of that cave. And by take care, I say this out of Malachi's earshot, I mean decimate them, like you said before. Just, It's
It's a good
certainly a
idea.
roof.
No, I don't think it's a good idea because is it like isn't Pacifica in trouble for already killing some of the orcs in there? Didn't they want his blood or something?
Oh, we did have to talk them into letting us keep him.
Yeah, they were
I think I
essentially
had
like
to call
chasing
him a
you
pet.
out. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was. Oh, that right. Yes.
I
So
don't think
that makes our little option a little harder, but it does put a little underline under the whole just go in and clean house option. Or no. What do
I
you
think
think,
it.
Kelsey?
I don't. They like you said. We were basically chased out last week because of Pacifica. Um, not pointing fingers, but Pacifica. Um, I think it'd be a bad idea to try and go in there at least at this time because I don't know. I'd rather not get chased out again or worse.
So your vote is to sleep outside and wait. And then our other option is slaughter orcs and sleep in a cave.
I'd rather
They
Malachi's
both
gonna
sound
be like
dangerous.
Malachi's gonna be like, you guys go in and slaughter them just for to find some shelter. When we have all these beautiful trees here we can make shelter in, I I will have no choice but to leave.
Fine. I love
Not
sitting in
after the
cozy
children.
corners. Not after the children. Fine. Fine. This tree right here looks lovely.
I couldn't agree more.
I'm
Couldn't
gonna
agree more.
scrabble up the tree and tie myself in and be like, fine. And work on some arrows.
Okay. All right. So
We should
go
we
ahead.
should make we should make up a watch schedule.
Well, why don't we take both options that we presented and take a middle ground instead of going into this particular cluster, we find a second cluster, test it out, and then that's potentially higher, and then meet in the middle.
Okay.
Like there's still a little bit of time left in the day that we can potentially find another cluster. I just personally don't trust those other elves as much. They seemed very discriminatory towards me and Libra for being half elves.
Well, you shouldn't really hold that against them. They can't help it.
I sent a
That is
look
fair.
to to
Did I say that out loud? You say that to Balfour. Shoot. Remind me next time.
But I will say,
Look,
in fairness to that group
I
of
know.
four, who you felt discriminated against, a little racism perhaps against Alicia and Rayla. In all honesty, Muriel and Balfour kind of probably feel about the same. That
Oh, I know.
you guys look like
Yeah.
humans. All three of you, Rayla, Alicia, and Libra, all half elves.
Oh, I'm sure, but like there's a camaraderie that they have,
Yes. Yes.
at least
You are
compared
at least, you're like a little bit cuter than most humans, at least.
to.
So through the eyes of Muriel and Balfour, there are two elves and five humans in the party. Is the way they see it.
Yeah. So I was not at all, I'm not at all concerned about these elf people. I
But
don't,
we still
I
don't
didn't
know
get bad vibes the way you did because the vibes felt like, I don't know, my aunts talk like that. It's normal, I guess. It's not great, but
Thanksgiving dinner is just also fun.
yeah,
but
exactly.
again we still don't know them, so finding another tree cluster might not be the worst idea.
If we're all going to go look for another tree
Careful.
cluster this late, I would suggest that we go to the one that we've already slept in twice. And we know we've had good luck there. We know where there's a good spot to sleep. We know what opening is nearby. We know what direction it faces. It's Seems good.
Was it this one here? That was a while ago, but
No, it was the one where the horse got eaten by the bear. The one
oh,
that's currently all the way to the
that was
east.
all the way
Yeah.
back over here. Yeah,
No. The one that's yes, it's the one you partially circled.
yeah. Yeah, well, the horse getting eaten by the bear that was actually back even further back east by the entrance. I remember,
Yeah, it was just that
like when you
night that
guys
we
came
slept
off the
there.
road back over there, that 100 or 200 foot like buffer, if you will, between the road there as you were heading north, the tree cluster there to your left. There's 100 to 200 yards between the road, the tree cluster, and then it breaks free and just opens up into the valley. I think this is back there. Well, that's back. That's where you guys left the horse. I think that's also where you made camp. I don't remember. I don't know if you guys actually made camp in this tree cluster here, the easternmost tree cluster in the valley.
I'm pretty sure we did. It took
Okay.
Malachi two swipes. He did a
Oh, to
detect evil on the
detect.
way
Okay.
in, and then on the way out. And that was the tree cluster we were trying to get Pacifica to join us in when he decided to kind of go AWOL
And he kind of
and run
and he
around.
kind of wanted out a little bit. Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
also the tree cluster that we retreated to when was it Rayla took out like everybody
Yeah. At the cave
single
entrance. I think that was over
handedly.
here with the orcs, right? Cave B.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So
Yeah.
both times, both of those instances, we slept in that tree cluster afterwards. So we've slept there twice. We've camped there twice already. It's beginning to kind of feel like home. You know, like I've got my pea spot. I want to use it.
All right, I guess.
You're just comfy in those trees.
Yeah. I've already
Yeah,
found the branch I like to sleep on. We might even still have a fire ring over there.
that's very fair. Fire rings are very important.
When you're in a tree cluster, I'd say so. But we still are probably gonna want Malachi to recheck it.
Yeah, Malachi will check when we get over there. He'll check. Don't worry.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, you guys are going to traverse the valley here at the base of the valley, at the bottom of the ravine, if you will, and make your way to the easternmost tree cluster. So my question to you, as it would be any other time, is as you are making your way through the tree cluster that you're currently in, do you go straight on through, like shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, or do you deviate and avoid the trees?
Balthier would suggest we go to the south of the tree cluster rather than the north, since there's the potential of eyes on the lookout for us from that direction.
And
Yes, that's good.
and Pacifica reminds you that he saw the hobgoblins over there by the cave F.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. We know Pacifica.
Yeah. He would suggest they just go where we can see. If people
Well, I
want to
guess
approach us, we'll see them coming.
Or do you split the party, go around that center cluster of trees, and come back
Oh god!
together?
Oh god!
no.
We just avoided splitting the party. Let's not. What is your obsession with splitting the party this session?
He wants us to split up. That's why he's so excited about it, because he's gonna try and pick us off by, I don't know, the bears.
Bears.
Bears. Maybe there's another owl bear around. Who knows?
There
Owlbears,
actually
no.
your horse actually was attacked by a bear. It was attacked by a vampire. Now it's a vampire horse. That's
You know
what
what?
it's
What?
Or a
I
zombie
would-
horse,
Okay,
zombie horse.
skeleton
Mwah.
horse. Yeah, that'd be okay.
that would be
Yeah,
really cool.
I would love
Actually,
zombie or vampire.
Okay, but
horse.
okay. So then that raises a question, though, Rayla.
Arthas, anybody?
While your horse, which you never purchased, it was through some other acquisitions, but nonetheless, you had acquired this
Rented?
horse, for which you took a strong liking to,
Yes.
and you guys made this way back to the valley on this one particular day, and you said, well, we're not going to bring the horse all the way into the valley and to do dungeon crawling with the horse. We're going to leave him here in the trees. We'll tie him up. You came back. The horse was, was gone, dead,
Missing.
eaten, whatever. So the question is, was it the owl bear, Or was it the black bear that you had previously encountered?
I want to say it was the owl bear. Well, yeah.
We didn't look for Prince. You were the ranger, though, so you would know of all of us.
I did look for Prince though,
It was
but I
just
Oh,
wonder.
you did?
yeah, it was just food for thought. I mean, obviously at this point it has no bearing because you killed the owl bear, if you believe it to have been the owl bear. But all right, so my question still stands though, ladies. Which way are we getting to this tree cluster?
South.
I like
Sure.
south.
South
It
is good.
feels like going downhill.
So by south you mean coming around this way, correct?
Correct, yeah.
And you could even come straight through this path here, which you guys have found an actual footpath, a trail, if you will, through the tree cluster. But okay, so Licia,
Is that what those little white lines are?
yeah. Licia, if you can roll me a d6, please.
Good luck.
5.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so you guys have your adventuring party, right? Oh, and just since we didn't review this earlier when we were reviewing the character's status, marching order, I have Malachi and Pacifica, Rayla and Alicia, Libra, Muriel, Balfour pulling up the rear.
Yep.
As he's always more than happy to have your back.
He sure is.
He's such a good
Run
guy
away.
like that, isn't he?
It's
Such a good guy.
strategically an advantage. I mean, what's the world without a couple more humans? Did you say that out loud?
Okay, so as you guys are breaking the tree cluster here, the rain, as you see, is even heavier than we were first led to believe, as you had some shelter, some protection of the the tree canopy from that rain. So the rain is a heavy, steady rain as you begin heading kind of a southeasterly direction to round out South America here, right? To come around the tip of that tree cluster and make your way back up. When you get to about here, you hear rustling in the trees
Yes.
over here to your right, or kind of ahead of you to the right.
I'm gonna put up my spear, just in case,
So Pacifica and Rayla out front.
Do you tell the rest of us?
Well, I would say as a group, you guys hear kind of some movement,
Hear it?
some rustle there off in the tree cluster, and even start to hear some voices as well, speaking in common tongue. A little too difficult to discern what the conversation is, but you do hear some conversation or some talk, if you will, some conversation or some words being exchanged.
Can I sneak up and see if I can hear better? Since I'm like.
Is this Muriel or Balfour? Muriel?
I would probably do it with Balfour, since he's a better thief than I am.
But this is great practice.
You're right. All right. You know what? He's back there. He wouldn't come to the front anyway. Muriel's gonna do it.
Oops. Let's see. Okay, so you kind of get yourself towards the edge here, if you will, without getting too, without getting too close, right? But you want to get closer to that entrance. Or are you so bold, Muriel, as to kind of come right here to the base or even into that pathway?
I would use my judgment based on what I could hear in the woods. Like, if I could hear that it was. I'd do it incrementally. I would start at the edge. If I couldn't really discern anything, I would take the next step.
Okay, so
Stop and listen.
as the party, and dismiss the color, but as the party had kind of made its way here, right, give or take, Muriel, you're in the back of the party, so perhaps you might be here. And that is where you guys, for Muriel's positioning, that's where you are when you start kind of hearing some rustling, some movement here in the trees, and some voices. So I would think that you would kind of perhaps come over here, right, to kind of start, so to speak. And as you do, and of course you kind of crouch down as the smaller elf that you are, um, and just kind of astutely listen for what you're hearing in that tree cluster. Now, the sounds are actually a little muffled, a little muddled even, uh, with the rain coming down on you, coming down in that tree cluster. You can hear the pitter patter of the rain on the branches, on the pine needles and the leaves there all around you. But you're hearing two distinct voices, and both sound feminine in tone
You're speaking
and
common.
speaking common. Yes.
Can we tell if they're like? Oh, I'm sorry. You snuck ahead, right? So we're still a little back. So
Yeah. So the party is like here, right? And Muriel has
Like
put herself
15
about
feet.
here. So I mean, she's not too far off from you, really. I mean, we're on
I
a
was
10-foot
wondering.
scale, so I mean, she's like right there.
I was just wondering if we could tell if it was angry or upset or any kind of
Tone.
negative
Yeah.
emotion.
So with the rain that's coming down and your proximity, of where you are to this conversation, it's still too difficult to concern what the conversation is or even the tone of that conversation. But you're hearing able to distinguish enough that two women, female voices, are speaking in common. Of what race are they is still unknown, but they are speaking in common tongue.
I will make hand gestures back to you all, being like, there's two, I don't know, women, uh, two
Girl.
ladies. I don't know.
Hubba 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 hubba.
And Valkyr is like, those are not our signs. And he tells the group. um, I would continue
And Pacifica
very
calls out
carefully.
to you and says, "Muriel, what are you trying to tell us?"
Oh, you asshole. I keep going.
Alicia just pats him on the shoulder.
It's like, what?
You
What?
got him.
What is she telling us? All right, Muriel, you said you keep going. So
Yep, I
I'm
would
assuming that
stay
means you're kind of going
closer.
to reposition yourself and kind of come and take the trail path, if you will, or are you going to try
Yeah.
to come around and be a little more
No,
covert?
I'll stay. I'll stay with. I want to stay within the trees. I'm not going to just waltz down the path, but I'll
Okay.
probably hug the edge of it. Um, and I wouldn't just walk up, depending on what I see. I wouldn't just walk up in front of them. Her goal is to stay low, stay down, get as close as possible to hear what she can, determine their race and if they're a threat or if they're checking out before she retreats.
All right, Muriel the thief. Can I get a wisdom check from you, please?
Okay. 4. And then...
Oh, 4. That's fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
so you are able to see that. I'm going to arbitrarily choose orange because none of you are orange. As the tree cluster here kind of tightens, if you will, it shortens between where you are, the tree cluster, and this little dirt path. Okay, that's why you position yourself here, as it is the closest, but still being able to be outside the tree cluster. You see two human women, garbed. One is in leather armor, bearing a shield. Actually, hang on. I'm sorry. Are they both wearing that? Yeah. So they're both wearing leather armor and shield. And
Okay.
the conversation you're hearing, while still a little unclear, is about Lord de Sanderall.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna like and listen.
Okay. So, but they are continuing on. Like they're walking, right? They're not stopped. They're walking their way through. So as you continue to listen, all right. So let me do this. I'm going to put the 2 dots there for these unidentified creatures. We have the pink dot for Muriel, and I'm going to choose this arbitrary light blue to signify where the party is. Okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah, they're Muriel. They are both on foot, from what you can see. They are also, of course, leather armor and shield, as I mentioned. They also are armed. Um, Seeing that they have a bow strapped to their back and a long sword.
It could be nice. Once I find out that they are human women that look like adventurers talking about Lord Sandoval, I will back to the group and share that information with them.
Okay. So that'll put you back here with a kind of yellow circle, blue disc as you make your way back. Now, as you make your way back there, these ladies here, these ladies here are also continuing their walk, their stride. Okay, so when you make your way back, as do they, as they begin to break the tree cluster. And your friend Pacifica comes through, as he does in the greatest times of discretion, and says, Muriel, is that what you were trying to tell us?
No. Nope. Not them. We were talking about something else. I will try to make it look like I have been with our group the whole time, perhaps, and share that I overheard people who look like adventurers who may or may not know something about someone we want to know some things about. But I'm not going to say the name just because I
So,
trust.
as these two ladies kind of get to the threshold, if you will, of the protection of the tree cover, the protection of the cluster of trees, and which will now break them past that barrier into the open meadows, if you will, the open tall grass here of the base of the valley, you get a better look. Okay, collectively, all of you do, as you kind of all just kind of standing there in the rain, scoping out what's going on, waiting for Muriel's signal to do this and do the hand jive and such, right? And these two human women, again, dressed in leather shields, bow strapped to the back, long sword at the hip. They are of younger age, perhaps in their mid 20s, early to mid 20s, and they both have a backpack, which seems rather packed, rather full, well defined in the shape of the backpack. They got some leather pouches on their hips, a few things, perhaps a dagger or a knife, on their hip. But they seem adventure-like, perhaps even more of a tactical type approach. With the sash, if you will, not a sash, but like a leather strap, if you will, coming across the chest, around you to the leather waistband. They have some high leather boots, and even one of them has some rope hanging from her hip opposite that of the sword. So they definitely seem to be very purposeful and confident in their stride, Muriel.
I wonder if we should go talk to them.
With caution, but maybe.
You guys are approximately about 25 feet away.
So they would see us.
Presumably.
Who's the most good at the making friends thing? Oh, Libra. Libra's totally the best at that.
Yeah. We would push Libra to the front, go talk to them.
100%. She's our face.
Okay.
Oh, she's very good at flirting too.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Good times.
Well, I guess Libra needs to approach the two adventurers and says, "Hi, hello there."
So Libra taking her nudge, her cue from Muriel, say, "Hey, You're the best talker. Go talk to him.
Oh, oh,
And kind of takes that nudge, and Muriel takes, excuse me, Libra
people like
takes,
you.
takes a few steps forward, kind of just to to separate herself from the group, to kind of identify herself as the one who's speaking, and she speaks out to them and says, "Hi, hello, fellow travelers." And the girls just kind of stand there, like right there at the edge of the tree line, before they step out into the rain, and they look over at you. Those dots are too small, but that'll work. They look over towards you, Libra, and they kind of pause, and they look at each other, and they look back at you. "Good afternoon," says one, as they continue to kind of, I don't want to say hold their position as if to say something, but they could just kind of staying where they are, like they're as if they're not willing yet to break that tree line. Perhaps because the rain, perhaps because you're there, right?
Uh, they look like they're being very careful.
How are you doing? Are you doing all right?
A little confused look. They kind of look back at each other. "Yes, we're doing fine."
Not getting into any trouble, are you?
We certainly hope not to. Are
I
you
love it.
trying to insinuate something?
No, we've just been around the valley for a bit, and we just wanted to make sure you were doing okay.
Were you sent here by the keep?
We're from the keep, yes.
But were you sent here by the keep?
Remember that I would have told you that they were talking about Lord DeSantis. You knew that.
Oh, absolutely. We were sent by Lord de Sanderall.
Oh, you were. And what? Make me a charisma check, please, Libra.
5.
And the second one chimes up and says, "And what were you? What was your task? Where were you? Where were you assigned?"
Oh God.
Like the caves or something.
You,
Over north.
over there, over north.
Just over there. Sorry. I'm bad at thinking on my feet.
Oh my god, this is so cool.
She says, "You're a rather large group. Are you actually two groups?"
Yes, we met up.
So
Friends.
she says, I'm confused. If you were two groups, why have you deviated from the assignment and have joined together? What was your assignment?"
Well, they didn't share their assignment, but our assignment was to take out an owl bear.
Ooh.
"Interesting," she says. "Huh. I wonder why. Why was that? Did the keep tell you why there was a need for that?"
Just that it was endangering adventurers in the keep, and they wanted to protect.
Interesting. And who is part of the other group that you referred to that's now standing with you?
I'm not over there. Never mind.
Well, let's
Doing
see.
the little nerd
Okay, but hang on, Muriel, you say that, but listen, if you look at our map, you guys are all like only 10 feet away from each other. So aside from the
that's
heavy
true.
rain, I mean, you can hear the conversation.
I guess I'll forward then and just say, "Hi there. We're part of the other. We're the group she's talking about."
And the first lady comes back and says, "And what was your assignment?"
To investigate the caves. A lot of people been disappearing and stuff. we've actually rescued some important traders and whatnot, and it's been a blast so far. And yeah, so I'm gonna just walk up and stick out my hand, and I'm Rayla.
And as you begin to make your approach, she says, "Well, that makes much more sense than an owl bear in the north." And she kind of extends her hand, and as you introduce yourself as Rayla, you see that she kind of gives you like a once over, kind of checking you out, so to speak. And she extends her hand and shakes her hand and introduces herself as Adalia. Adalia.
Very nice name.
Hmm.
That was me telling her that, by the way.
And she says, "And this is my partner, late Jabra, Jabra and Adalia."
Wait, Jabra is from Pacifica's party, isn't she? So she would recognize him.
Is she really? Oh my. Hold on. Did you just do that
because
to us on purpose, TM?
because I have in my previous notes Jabra, Diogo, and Lamar.
I believe you.
Oh God. Okay.
I
I'll
believe
hail the
you.
note taker.
All right, and what were those four names you had? Jabra, Diago.
Lamar, McDuff, and Dalman. I had 5.
Now,
Let's go with
I know McDuff and Dalman. I don't know. I remember that those names came up. I'm not sure if those two were with his party
Oh,
of.
there is a space between them. So
Yeah,
Jabra, Diogo, and Lamar came up before,
right.
but I don't remember why.
Okay. Okay. So they introduce herself to you, Rayla, as Adalia, and this is my partner, Jabra.
it. Shit.
But I look over to and say, "Very nice to meet you."
So, how long have you been out here on your assignments? She says.
Give or take a week or something. I mean,
Wow.
time just
Well,
clumps together
Time
when you.
flows.
yeah. Well, we've been being sure to report back every other day or every third day. And you've been out here for a
Oh,
week? Wow.
no. We go back and forth. We've
We
been
go
going
back and
back and
forth.
forth for a week.
Yeah.
And Jabra looks at you, Muriel, and says, "I'm sorry. Who are you?"
I'm an adventurer.
She's one of my
I
partners.
Well,
am
well,
Muriel
hello,
of the
adventurer.
Flari. Hi. Uh, your equipment is quite nice.
Why, thank you.
Still
Thank
charmed.
you.
Okay.
What?
So
What?
no, sorry, I'm
What you
just
got
thinking.
beef with me for?
I was not speaking to you. I'm sorry.
I do.
Well, if that one's from his original party, we better not let her know that.
No, it wasn't. I was wrong. So
Oh, okay.
we're good. Jabra,
It's still
Diogo,
someone we've
and
seen
Lamar are for
before.
something else, and I can't remember it. Dang it.
Well, that makes life a lot easier. Well, honestly, it does. I say that that would have been a lot scarier. Um, I'm out here doing the adventuring, killing the bad things and trying to save the good, right? That's what all of us are doing, depending on who we're doing it for.
So, that doesn't sound like you're working for the keep. What did you say your
The
name was, adventurer?
Muriel. I'm an
Muriel.
elf.
Well,
Duh.
thank you. I can see that. So, Ms. Muriel, if you yourself can make me a charisma check, please.
Oh, sure. That would be an 8. And I have a charisma score of 11. No, of 10. Even better.
10. Okay.
Even better.
Okay. So, I mean, you're under, not by a lot, but you're under.
Nope. Because I'm not exactly nice, like she's not being nice. But she is trying to kind of imply like I do not need to tell you.
Mm.
I'm gonna kind of jab her in her arms,
What? She is not my
like
supervisor.
no, but we can still play nice with each other. Like, come on.
I don't have to report to her, certainly, or
We,
her either.
we have been reporting back to the keep, and letting them know of what we've done and what we found, and
And they both kind of look at each other again and look back at you guys.
Why
we're
don't you
just
just go about
eccentric.
your business?
We're just an eccentric group. That's all.
Yeah, eccentric. Perhaps so.
Mm.
Eccentric, eclectic. Yeah. Perhaps perhaps even a little hodgepodge of some disorganization and some enthusiasm.
Heavy
Absolutely.
on the disorganization.
Yeah, well, I might be an elf, but I am only 180 years old, so it's like being around an 18-year-old kid.
She's still learning. Just cut her some slack. And I'm
So,
just
But
gonna.
she doesn't know that she's still learning. She kind of thinks she knows it all.
so, ladies, says Adalia, um, can we all just be on our merry way? We will continue on, and you do the same, and all is good.
I love that idea.
You
Absolutely.
you continue with your very convoluted and questionable assignment, and we shall continue on with ours.
I'd
That
like
works
to
beautifully.
ask or persuade to get information on their assignment, if at all possible, please.
Okay, what would you like to ask,
I
or how would you like to ask that?
I guess in I just can you spare any details on what you guys are been tasked with?
Spare. Hmm. Being polite. Spare, as spare as if we have extra, as if we have more than what we need. But I understand your point. I'm sorry. What was your name? Was it Rayla? She says.
Yes.
Yes, Rayla. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I'm sorry. And Jabber chimes in and kind of taps her on the shoulder, and she says, "I'm so sorry, my friend's being rather curt with you, Miss Rayla, as you've been nothing but cordial with us. She's been rather ornery here for the past couple days, but um, we've been tasked. But I do agree with her that it's really unusual to hear this kind of assignment to a scouting party coming from the keep. That one was tasked with an owl bear in the north, and you were tasked with what?
Investigating the caves.
Yes. So it's a little out of the ordinary here, that kind of assignment coming from the keep. But we ourselves are here to surveil the valley, um, to get a lay of the land, if you will, to get a better assessment of the numbers, the forces that be within, with focus on the caves to the west.
What was the cave that that we had the incident with the goo and stuff? That
That was Cave
Cave
G,
G.
which is also the Owl Bear Cave. So
now is that
yeah,
west?
your goo is over here.
Is that west?
Yeah, and the Owl Bear is over here.
So then,
Lovely.
over to the west and whatnot. Okay, I will warn you. We've had some trouble with one of the caves, and I'll kind of just gesture over to where the owl bear and whatnot was, and don't touch the walls of the cave. You will regret it.
Oh, that's so
Um,
nice.
And why is that? What do the walls of the cave present?
I do that apparently eats like it was metal or leather or something.
I
Um,
think it was the metal.
I
The
thought it was
metal
okay. Yeah,
of it.
I think it's metal too. Yeah, it eats metal. and I'm not even exaggerating. It was terrifying to watch.
She says, "Well,
Es-
c-
Especially when she took off her clothes.
cons-
Yeah.
considering the time of day, we have no intention of entering any of the cave systems here this evening, as nightfall will be upon us soon, and there'll be no need for that."
And would you like
Wait,
to make?
why
We're
don't you go in the
we're
caves at
going
night?
to settle down for the night ourselves.
Mm. Well, we shall not, but I wish you well as you settle in for the night, and may the safety
You
of the
can't sleep with
gods be with
us.
you.
All right, and with you. And I guess I'll step back and rejoin the other people.
Muriel, did you have something?
Nothing serious. I was making a joke.
Okay.
What was the joke? I didn't hear it.
It was pretty bad. I was trying to make a twist on the "you can't sit with us" from Mean Girls, except it
Oh,
came out dirty because I said you can't sleep with us.
Well, I was going to say, Libra's good at flirting, so if you throw in a little Libra's flirting and a statement like that, you never know where it could go.
yeah. We
So
didn't
you have
know.
a couple of extra eyes for watch.
Okay, so I guess do we continue heading to the tree cluster and bed down for the night, or
Is that what you guys
Yeah,
want to do?
that sounds good to me.
One of
Okay.
them
And I'll
makes me
use
wonder.
whatever's left of the
Let's
daylight to
go.
work on making arrows.
And these ladies just continue walking, kind of heading
Real-
westerly direction on the base floor or the floor of the valley. So they
When
are, kind of heading something like this here along the base as you guys part ways.
when they get out of earshot, I'm gonna smack Muriel in the back of the head and be like, "You should be nicer."
They would have walked all over us.
But still, you don't have to be rude. That being
You don't have
rude
to threat.
turns into fights. We don't have the energy or the means to fight right now.
Fight, fight,
I think
fight!
you
Says Pacifica.
you did a lovely job. Actually, it was quite diplomatic. I was really impressed.
Thank you.
Licia pops in, and so they implied that something goes down during the nights instead of
I picked up on that too. When they go into the caves, they won't have to, or something like that. It's going to be night, so they won't have to.
have
She's a
any
werewolf.
has anyone when they've been keeping watch during the night noticed anything different about the caves?
The only thing that's come up is when Pacifica wanted to hunt down those uh bug. What was it? What was the you were trying to go after?
Hobgoblins. Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblins. But that was it. I don't think we've noticed anything. You know what? I think I'm gonna follow them from a distance just to keep my eye on them. And yes, gas splitting from the party. Yeah, yeah.
Gasp. I'm making notes. It's
Give
good.
them-
Gasp. Okay.
So they said they weren't going into the
Oh,
caves at night.
YouTube is not responding. What?
No, I'm sorry, you two.
Are we still streaming?
We had gotten comments, but the video kept freezing and reloading and freezing and reloading. It doesn't have a timestamp on the most recent comment, but it was latent.
Oh no, what are we gonna do?
Well,
As
OBS is actually recording as well as streaming. It indicates that it's streaming, but then YouTube Studio says there was an error and YouTube is not re dot dot dot. So I'm assuming that means it's not recording. But obviously, we're not going to lose sleep over. We're going to continue on with our game.
Yeah, we'll just post later, right?
Yeah, and I'll try to upload it later then. Okay, so tell me what you guys want to do, or what are you doing?
You're gonna follow them.
Oh, that's right. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. All right, let me open up that map so I can take a look at that here with you. Okay, I see it now. Okay, so approximately what kind of distance do you want to have between you and them?
Oh, I want I assume it's starting to get dark, right?
It's getting late in the day. The bottom of the sun is beginning to touch the horizon,
How,
which for you can be a little misleading as you are in the bottom of the valley, right? So
how is it 60 feet that I have dark vision for half elf? Am I
correct. Yep.
remembering it correctly?
Yep. 60
So
feet.
then I want to be more than 60 feet. So maybe like 50 feet, falling from behind 50, 55 feet.
Okay. I will say, and this is a common thing I find in RPG. Well, I say that I only play D&D, but we often underestimate or misjudge distance. So 50 feet is less than 20 yards, right? Because that'd be 60 feet. So if you put it in the context of sports, football, that's 20 yards. You're in the red zone for your touchdown. That's really not all that far. If you put it in context of something that might be more relatable, 60 feet is shorter distance than the width of my house, right? I haven't measured my house in a while, but I think it's more than 60 feet or about 60 feet as we live in a tiny, small house. So that's still not very far, is kind of what I'm getting at. So if you want to stay at that distance, of course, we'll RP that, we'll roleplay that, but 60 feet is not far.
Well, then I guess while it's still bright, I will be further back. Okay. So while it's still light out, maybe like 120 feet, 150 feet.
Okay, okay,
But I also want to be in the trees as much as possible.
okay. So from a mapping perspective, if they are here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that would put you approximately here to be 120 feet.
Okay, but the black, is that just the stuff outlined by green? Those are trees, correct?
Correct. Yes. So
So
even though they might be up here to the left and to the bottom here, those are tree
yeah.
clusters.
Okay, so I want you to move like from where your mouse was last up like 3 or 4 squares into that one tree cluster.
Okay. So you want to put yourself up over here as you're following them. So you want to kind of go into the tree cluster.
Well, if they're over there and you
Okay.
just count.
So I let me just let me do it this way for you. So keeping a distance of 100-ish, 150 feet, somewhere in that range, right? Which will put you between like 30 and 50 yards. Okay. Um, as you are trying to follow them without, following them without being noticed, perhaps you actually kind of, break your way into just inside the tree cluster and watch to see which way they're going, and then, maybe you kind of come out of the tree cluster and come up to the next little area to kind of obscure yourself as you drift back in, breaking that tree line, or squat down a little bit just enough to make sure you have reasonable concealment.
Absolutely, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And then even perhaps, make a dash. Ooh, a dash, 5e, make a dash, i.e. a sprint, you run, right? Or you move, you walk very, very quickly to come over here to the next one, right? So I got you on that, Ranger Rayla. Oh, Ranger Rayla, Rayla Ranger. Okay, and what you're finding is they stay along the base of the valley here, okay, until they get to the two tree clusters, and they split the trees, and they start making their way up the hillside, like straight up the hillside.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna go like walk through those clusters kind of behind them, sort of thing. Stick
Okay.
to the clusters.
Yeah. So you kind of pop yourself there as you watch them just they're walking up the hillside, walking up the
Mhm.
hillside, and then they head south, and you start to lose sight of them by the tree cluster.
Okay, so then I go to the next tree cluster,
Okay,
or to the edge of to the top of that one cluster, I
this one
guess.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I see when I'm
So
up
no,
there?
no, 'cause at that point you're still the trees here are obscuring your vantage point.
Okay, so then I want to go to the top of that one tree cluster I am at.
Uh huh.
Um, and no, to the one
Yeah.
below it.
Yeah.
The
This
one
one here.
below it.
Yeah.
No, the one below it, the cluster below.
Below this, there's nothing below this.
Above it.
Or I don't know, the one that I was just at following.
This one here.
Yeah, Yeah, but I want to be at the top of it. Let's, yeah, right there. No. Yes, right there. And I'm on a tree,
Cold,
and so
cold.
I can see them.
Okay.
Well, but I will have my armor on this time.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not.
yeah, you already put that on a long time ago. Okay,
Yeah.
so as you kind of trying to scurry up here um, to the tip of the tree cluster here, you have lost sight of them as they kind of made their way around. Um, as you kind of keep an eye here to the east, just to make sure you don't have any hobgoblin activity going on over here, and any knoll activity over here, as that was a rather challenging for you guys. Um, you don't see them again. You patiently wait and allow them several minutes to, in essence, to reappear, um, in hopes that they're going to kind of circle around, but they don't. They do not reappear.
I'm climbing the tree. Remember?
You're what?
I'm climbing a tree.
Oh, I didn't know you were climbing this time. I thought you were just taking cover in the trees.
4 times I want to climb the tree. That's why I said I'm not
Okay.
taking my armor off this time.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry, I missed that. Okay.
It's all right.
So now that you have armor on, let's start with a dexterity check.
Dexterity. 15. And I rolled a 15 again.
Okay.
I'll be right back real quick.
Okay. So, Rayla, as you begin scaling this tree again, without the assistance of your party members to aid you, with the impedance of the weight of your gear, which is probably about 50 pounds or so, give or take, 30 pounds in your armor, probably another 10 pounds in a shield, and another 10 or 20 pounds or so in your in your backpack and everything. Obviously, you leave your shield behind on the ground because you can't climb you can't climb a tree with a shield. But very possible that you could just kind of throw that over your back, right? But I don't think that'd be wise, and you would know better because that would be physically kind of get in the way as you're scaling the tree. But nonetheless, as you begin to scale the tree or climb the tree, you get yourself about 10, about 8. Actually, I rolled a 9. Get yourself 9 feet up, and you kind of at an impasse where there's no other. The next branch up is well out of your reach.
Can I take the 2 daggers I have and try and just use them as a climbing thing in the trees?
I understand what
cool.
you're going for, but I want to say no on that because in order for you to, you'd have to get that blade almost completely in for it to be strong enough for you to make your way up.
I have some of that super strong rope. What if I tossed it over and used it to climb up?
Okay, I got you. So you climb your way back down, perhaps. Find yourself a rock and kind of tie the rope around the rock so you have something substantial, a weight, to kind of toss it up over a branch. Obviously, up and over the branch, come back down. So now you have your branch and you got your rope, up and over. So you got 20 feet or so on each side dangling down.
Well, I was kind of hoping to grab rope, go back up to where I couldn't get the branch,
Uh-huh.
then throw the rope over the next one I could reach, or it could reach,
Okay.
and then try and get them higher.
Okay, so even at that, so you're standing on branch 1, and you throw your rope up around branch 2, so you got rope up and around, and you're going to kind of grab both and try to climb up the rope, is what you're saying? I'm just trying to understand how you're doing this.
I just want to grab them and then try to climb,
Okay.
army style, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, make me a dexterity check again, please.
Thank you. And that is a 7.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So you are ever so slowly utilizing this tactic of yours, beginning to make your way ascending in this particular tree. Your intention, of course, is to be close. Not too far, not too deep into the tree cluster. Kind of be closer to the edge, so that you'd have better visibility. So you wouldn't have to be looking through as many trees to see your objective. And just the same, if you
Right.
do need to quickly descend and get the hell out of there, you can, get the hell out of there.
Right.
Grab the
So
rope.
make me one more dexterity check and just hold that for a second. Um, and meanwhile, back at the ranch, what is the rest of the party doing?
I'm working. Did we make our way back into the?
Yeah, so after your encounter here, this conversational encounter with these two human um, adventurers, scouts, rangers, who knows? You guys make your way into your tree cluster. Um, I wouldn't say you find necessarily like the remnants of your camp from last time. It's not what you left, but you found the same general area where you last were,
You know it works.
and something kind of doable, as the druids kind of described to you, something you can work with. You make shift here because the druids aren't going to cut down those trees by any means to clear the area. They might move a little bit of brush. They might clear out the leaves and the sticks and stuff. Grass is one thing. You can kind of clear out the grass, but they're definitely not going to be cutting down or burning down these trees just for the purpose of you guys, clearing a little 50-foot area for to everyone to sleep in. But the druids, that is Libra and Licia, kind of go to work here with you guys, with the rest of the party, giving everyone kind of some guidance and instructions to set up camp here, again in the tree cluster, which has served you before in providing you shelter and safety on at least one, if not more, occasions. Let's see something here. Sound manager. Interesting. Okay. Um, and you guys are kind of getting yourself set up for the night. So you don't have real solid shelter in terms of a lean-to, a tent, a strong physical shelter, but they're kind of able to clear enough land here for you, and maybe get a few branches that have fallen with green or brown leaves, just to provide a little something. You guys do have your bedrolls, doing the best you can to take shelter here, as the rain is just very slowly, occasionally pitter patter dropping here all around you as the rain occasionally penetrates through the canopy. But hopefully, based upon the name alone of the Valley of the Day Rain, hopefully as the sun disappears below the horizon, the rain is going to stop, and you guys will have a more comfortable environment here. A place to stay the night. So, as you guys are making camp, questions are raised here amongst the party. One being, do we make a fire? Do we make a fire for warmth? Do we make a fire to cook? There's always a risk of the fire amongst the trees, right? But you can dig out perhaps a hole in the ground around, surrounded by dirt, have a small fire. But just the same, if you make a fire, that provides illumination. You guys can see here in your campsite, have a nice little campfire, chit chat and so on. But just the same, that means others may be able to see your fire as well. So those are questions that are being raised. Food for thought here amongst the party as you guys are kind of getting settled in for the night and begin to decide who is going to take watch, right? Who's first watch, who's second watch, who's third watch. Because I know we typically do 3 watches. So if you only feel the need for 2, you feel the need for 4, I'll let Muriel or I'll let Erica and Rin kind of discuss that. Back over here to Rayla. What did you roll on that final dexterity check?
I rolled a 4.
Excellent. And follow that up, if you will, for me with a wisdom check. Now that we know that you've safely been able to climb to a reasonable height.
7, and my wisdom's a 15.
Okay. So last known location for Rayla of this pair, these 2 women. Let me give it a little better scale anyway. Was kind of about here. Was the last time that you were able to see them. Okay. Rayla, you are purple. Let me get a purple dot to kind of represent you here. Okay. Hey, is that really to scale? Hang on. Yeah, I guess it kind of is pretty close. Okay.
So
So,
when I'm comfortable up on the branch, do I see them at all?
yeah, so from what you see, you don't see them, but way up in the hillside here, further, much beyond that tree cluster, you do see a lone man that is there.
Okay, can I get any like can I see any like descriptive anything like is
So
he
so he is his race is unclear. He's too far away. It looks like he's by himself. He's kind of sitting there, almost like Indian style, crisscross his legs, and it looks like he's just kind of looking back towards you or back towards the valley.
all right.
It's too since he's kind of sitting down. It's really too, and the distance it's too hard to identify what he is or isn't really wearing.
Okay. That's fair. Anything do I notice anything else? From the tree cluster in front of me up to the man that's sitting by himself.
The only other thing that catches your attention, which may or may not be noteworthy, perhaps it's just something you overlooked. Perhaps it's something you forgot. Or maybe it is, in fact, something different. But over here near the knoll cave, excuse me, outside that, oh, those are way too small, those dots. You see a small campfire. You don't see anyone there, but you see a small campfire.
Is it burning? Is
Yeah,
it like
yeah, yeah. It's burning. Yeah, it is, and it's outside of the cave. Like maybe within 15, 20 feet of the cave entrance.
okay? So I guess I'm going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie the rope around me. So if I need to jump down, um, I can use the rope and
Repel.
yeah, thank you. I can like a makeshift propelling myself. Um, but then I'm gonna just sit on the branch, and then just watch. I'm gonna watch the Knoll Cave. I'm gonna watch the dude, and I'm gonna try and see if I can see those women again.
Okay,
Where did you
so
see the dude? Oh wait, no, I'm not there.
while tree climbing is not necessarily your expertise, um, you do know how to use some rope. So you fashion to kind of tie the rope around the tree and tie the rope to you to secure yourself. No?
I'm not basically what I'm going to do because I'm not. It's gonna sound weird, but the rope that's I'm going to tie the end one end of the rope to me around my waist securely and safely, and then I'm going to basically um I'm the other end is just gonna hang down. It's not gonna be tied to anything. It's just I'm gonna be holding it as I rappel that. So like a it's not
Okay.
gonna
All
be
right. Well, and then just a little confused because I thought you wanted to stay here in the tree for observational purposes.
yes, yes, I do. But in case something happens, like the someone gets into trouble or I have to get back to where they're making camp,
She's
I
setting
wanted to
herself up a quick out.
basically quick out. And then I don't have to worry about untying anything. I can just wrap the rope around myself as I run.
Okay. Do you have rope use as a non-weapon proficiency?
No.
I do.
Okay.
You should
So
get it.
healing. I chose healing because
Oh, we like that. We like that. Yep.
we like healing.
We like that. Yep.
Okay. All right. So you work some rope
It's smart.
in this contraption kind of system rigging system that you're working on, and you want to stay and observe that guy off there in the far distance up the hill, to
And
see what he might do, what kind of movement he might make, relocation, and keep an eye here south of you. Um, what's going on here with the knoll cave and that campfire?
if I see the ladies again.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a particular interest, but at least for what you can see now, we're talking about the orange dot, the campfire, and the blue dot, the man there, way off in the, atop the hillside.
Yep.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Meanwhile, back in the tree cluster, the guys are making camp. Um, the sunlight is beginning to diminish. It's beginning to evade you. Um, the darkness of the evening is slowly rolling in. The rain is beginning to lighten, but still remains persistent. And you guys are getting settled in here for the evening. Muriel is beginning to mentally prepare herself for her studies, as she knows she does need to take some time to do that and prepare her spells for the next day. Libra and Alicia, while they don't necessarily pray to a deity in the more traditional sense of that of a cleric, they do like to kind of be in attunement, right? Ooh, attunement. To kind of be in tune with, or their own like communion, if you will, with nature. So they take a little time with themselves, individually, to be in touch with nature, to reflect upon the day, and in that deep meditation with all that surround, all the beauty of the trees and the small animals that surround them. And how are you guys setting up watch?
I would take the first watch.
Muriel solo?
Yeah, well, I mean, Balfour can do it with me. I would like also to take whatever time I have to work on making arrows.
Got you. Okay.
Licia and Libra will take the second watch.
Licia and Libra. Okay. And third watch. At least and of course Rayla may come back, but at least at the moment, that would leave Malachi and Pacifica.
Yeah, that's an interesting combo. That's terrifying. How long before they kill each other?
All right, now, Licia, you taking middle watch may not experience any hit point recovery. Perhaps you guys should switch
I would swap with her.
your two
Okay,
the first and second watch. We'll make that instead of 1 and 2, we'll make it 2 and 1.
Yeah,
So Muriel and
absolutely.
Balfir on second watch, Licia and Libra on first.
I'll just poke you and be like, just give us a little nudge with your boot, darling.
Because
and we'll
both
wake up.
Balfir and Muriel are maxed out, so they don't need, in terms of hit points, they don't need the restoration, right? So they will not be at any loss. Now Balfir and Pacifica does, so he is more than happy to lay his head early in the evening, after you guys get settled in and begin to sit down and break bread and have a meal. So, as the adventuring party that you are, amongst the trees, with the guidance and advice of the druids, are you guys building a fire?
It doesn't make sense to build a fire to
And now I'm gonna eat some
if it's still
rations.
raining.
I'll just eat rations. I'm good.
Like, wouldn't the rain put it out?
Well, no, not necessarily. Of course, it depends rain size relative to fire size. But no, if your house is on fire, the rain is not going to quench that fire, right? So just so it's raining is not going to extinguish the fire. And at least from what you guys have been surmised, the value of the day rain, come nightfall, it shouldn't be raining. At least shouldn't be.
It wasn't awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, like, because especially since we're on first watch, it will still be raining right now to make it.
Okay. So Licia and Libra on first watch. are going to hold on at least creating a fire initially, and then towards the end of their shifts, they can decide if they want to take that action to provide some illumination here within the campsite, and also perhaps even a little bit of warmth here for everyone. Now, you guys do have your clothes, you got your bedroll. We've never really talked about blankets or anything like that, but food for thought here, Alicia. So give that some consideration here in the next few moments as to whether you want to set up a campfire here towards the end of your shift. Back over here with Rayla and her astute observation skills. So,
I mean,
Rayla, as
you're
the
collecting
day is
wonderful
getting
intel.
long, the sun is I'd say has set. The You're losing sunlight. The night is beginning to fall upon you. The rain is getting lighter as you hear less and less of the raindrops falling upon the leaves all around you. You begin to see a shift. I don't say see. You begin to feel a shift in all that is around you here in the valley. It's just a sense that it's like it's shift change, if you will. Okay?
Yeah.
While you're not seeing anything visual yet, you can just kind of feel it in the air that things are beginning to change or will be changing.
Like
And
what kind? Like a ominous shift, an evil shift.
A change. A not defined. You can't really
human.
define exactly what it is, but it feels like something is going to happen.
Does it make me nervous? Does it make me
Um, Not nervous in terms of like I'm like oh my god, this is making me nervous, like I'm uncomfortable, but just more inquisitive because only one time before, only once I think it is, that you guys have actually spent the night here in the valley, maybe twice, and maybe you felt this before and it wasn't strong enough for you to really articulate it or to for it to be formidable in your sixth sense, but it definitely feels something tonight. This evening, I don't want to say tonight. This evening. So as you're continuing your observation, your own personal watch, right? You begin to see some activity over here towards the knoll cave, and by activity, I mean a couple guys kind of come out to the foot of the cave, a couple of knolls, and they just kind of stand there as if they're kind of surveying the land, just kind of looking out. And the fire there is burning, providing some glow, if you will, some illumination upon them, allowing you to see them standing there. I don't know why I erased the campfire, but let me kind of put a dot back to represent that again. The
Yeah,
campfire.
totally.
see the man on top of the hill there?
So as you take notice of these guys over here at the foot of the cave, they kind of stand there for a few minutes. They kind of make their way out around the campfire, and when they make their way out of the footing, if you will, of the cave, and they make their way out into the valley and take a few steps over to the campfire, they seem to pull up I don't want to say a stool, but like a stump, a piece of wood, a stump of wood, and kind of put it near the campfire, and they each kind of pop a squat and take a seat. And you glance back over the tree cluster there, looking up toward the top of the hill at the man who was there previously. And you see his attention has shifted. He's no longer looking in your direction. He has shifted and turned himself to his right, your left, as he's looking, or has shifted his direction, physically turned, not just turned his head and look. He is physically now facing east and looking in the direction of the Goblin Cave and the Knoll Cave.
Do
But
I see any signs of the
I
ladies
was going to say,
coming?
still no sign of the ladies.
Hmm. Oh, probably an idiot for this, but I'm gonna rappel down and sneak up to that next tree cluster.
Okay, make me a dexterity check, please, for your
You're
rappelling
not an idiot.
down
You're just
with.
exciting. I love watching players like you. This is like my favorite shit. I'm always too scared to play this way. Oh,
I got
Baldy.
characters just in case. Don't worry.
I love
Five.
it.
Five.
Okay, I hear you 5. I was distracted because Erica was getting her stuff ready, so I had to look at the clock to see if we're at time, and we're not at time yet.
Oh no, this is what I use as a lap desk. It's
Okay.
just I had gotten excited and was leaning forward.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
No, my notebook is really small, so I need
Okay.
something to lean on.
Okay. So meanwhile,
Are you kidding me? She's running out there on the hills
so
solo
time
at
is
night.
passing. So you, Rayla, you've probably been in the tree for half hour, 45 minutes, maybe a little longer.
Right.
Astutely observing the guy there on the top of the hill, because he certainly caught your attention, as you did not expect to find him, and really, with the two exceptions really of the set of 4 elves around Cave G and the 2 women you just encountered in the trees, you guys haven't really seen anyone else in this valley, right? If I remember correctly, you haven't seen anyone else.
Not
So,
Well,
humans.
we did see a party of 3 members, but we didn't go talk to them. We just let
oh,
them
that's right. They were
pass.
like a little off in the distance, and they kind of went off and did their own thing.
They
Yeah.
weren't
Okay.
Yeah.
humanoid though. I mean,
So,
well, they weren't humans.
so the frequency here of your random encounters, in the true sense of the word, of these not evil, not beasts, not dwellers, cave dwellers, has been, as you're describing, or as we are describing, a little bit of on an uptick. You saw the 2 women today, 4 elves earlier in the day, and now this random guy, solo guy, kind of sitting on the ground on the top of the hill, and his attention as well has shifted over, looking to his right, as it has caught your attention as well, as you now have 2 gnolls sitting over by the campfire, as the night has descended upon you, and it's become dark. So your visibility, Rayla, is limited to your
Here.
60 feet of infravision, short of the gnolls, so you can see pretty reasonably, as they are essentially backlit by the campfire that they have. But you have lost sight of the man at the top of the hill.
Alright. So I want to quickly and as quietly as I can sneak run up to the next cluster of trees.
Okay. And from there, what would you like? What is your intention by going to that next cluster?
I want to stay at the bottom of the cluster and just watch the gnolls, because
So maybe over here?
yeah, I just want to keep an eye on the gnolls, because if his attention's on the gnolls too, yeah, I want to check it out.
Okay. Okay. So let me just get a bigger pencil here. A little bit bigger. And Rayla, we're going to put you right about there.
Awesome.
Okay? All right. So it is dark. Malachi, Alicia, or let me say, Licia and Libra, as you guys are on first watch. Muriel perhaps is in her studies. Balfear doing what a thief might do. I don't know. And Pacifica and Malachi have already kind of put themselves down for the night, so to speak. So, Licia and Libra, as you're getting towards the end of your watch, and you yourselves are getting tired, and you know it's going to be time to, give the old nudge here to Muriel in not too long of a time. Are we still withholding from a campfire?
Yeah.
I personally think that it would be smart to withhold from it, and also just as Libra and Licia are more in tune with nature, granted destruction of fire, but like just the idea of honestly, there's not a lot of wood that would probably be useful if it's damp anyway. So I think that it's in the best interest to keep without it for now.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so in just a moment, we're going to have our shift change here over to Muriel and Balfear, and then Alicia and Libra can kind of do that handoff to them. Before we do, Alicia, can you roll for me a d6? Actually, both of you, Muriel and, excuse me, Licia and Lever. So roll me 2d6, please.
Both fives. Oh dear God.
Oh,
Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so Rayla, continuing
Yes.
her observations, her reconnaissance, her security detail, if you will. Actually, reconnaissance is probably a better description. Her reconnaissance here of
yeah, she's
the
totally
gnolls.
stealthing it.
So, can you speak Gnoll, Rayla?
She should.
Yes.
Okay. Let me check my scale here, just to be sure myself. If you're there, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Yeah, they're roughly 70 feet or so from where you are. So they're not far, but that's still a short distance. A little too far for your infravision to be, utilized. But again, they are kind of illuminated by. They have a glow about them, if you will, from the small fire that is around them. So, as you continue your observation, um, they're just sitting there talking. It looks like they actually, now that you're a little closer, it looks like they're eating something on skewers, kind of cooking like they're cooking marshmallows, kind of making s'mores. They have their
Oh yeah.
skewers, over the fire, and maybe you can hear them talking, but not at this distance, not enough to really make out what they're saying. But of equal interest, perhaps, is when you traversed up the hillside from one tree cluster to the next, it wasn't raining anymore. And
Okay.
as you made that progression up the hill, which is about 50 feet or so uphill, you still have that sense about you that, like, something's in the, like, shit's in the valley. Like, it's feeling a little more ominous, a little different than it feels like during the daytime. During the daytime, it feels very innocuous. It feels very, I certainly won't say pure or innocent, but it feels very absent during the daytime. And now
Okay.
here, as you're in the nightfall, solid nightfall, out here by yourself, it just feels uneasy. It feels not right.
Lovely.
My notes now say Rayla's getting shits in the valley vibes.
Oh man. All right. I I want to slowly move around that tree cluster, see if I can find those women.
Okay, I got you.
But I want to be like slow, steady, quiet as possible because I do not want to be seen.
Got you. Okay, so back at camp, we are
In
having
fact,
what?
I'm gonna take off my shield. I'm going to put my spear down. I'm only gonna have my short bow and my dagger on with me.
Okay, so you're leaving your pack behind as well.
Yes, I'm gonna leave my pack behind as well.
So you have your waistband, whatever belt you might have, right? You got your boots, you got your clothes, you got your chainmail armor, you have a dagger, and what else?
Uh-huh. And my
And
short
your
bow
bow.
and my
Yeah,
arrows.
your bow and quiver, and your dagger.
I have like 3 healer's kits on me. I'm gonna take those two, just put them in my pouch.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, I usually envision the healer kit being like a big med pack, right, that you'd have on your waist. I mean, maybe that's attached to the side of your backpack or something. But yeah, I can work with you on that and have that big med pack there on your side. Okay. So at shift change, as Rayla has taken some time in her observation, ascending, descending, traversing up the hill, crouching down, moving slow in the tall grass to remain as hidden as possible, as she knows those gnolls are out there and very well could fall in their sight, and that is not what she wants being out here by herself. She makes her way here into the tree cluster, gets as kind of as close as she feels comfortable so she can continue her surveillance here of the gnolls, and now she's being so bold as to partially disarm herself so that she can, as stealthily as possible, as the ranger she is, but the thief she is not, to search among this tree cluster to see if she can find these women. Food for thought, Rayla. What are you going to do if you encounter them? Back at camp, though, as we are getting ready for shift change, from Licia and Libra tapping out, and Muriel and Balfour tapping in. Muriel, what spells are you preparing for the next day?
I'm gonna keep the same ones.
Okay,
I'm not
same
gonna
with
bother
shield
with
and
others.
charm person.
Correct.
Okay.
That way I can use as much time as possible for arrow making.
Okay. And now that you are on second watch, you get a little bit of sleep in there at first, and now that you're it's a little bit of some studies in, perhaps, right? Um,
Mhm.
just before you put your head down, got a few hours of sleep, and now you're up for a second shift for your watch. And while you are on watch, you are taking the opportunity here to wander around a little bit, to find some sticks, some twigs, something that
Yeah.
would be of substance, of enough quality to craft some arrows.
I'm looking for some nice young green
And
things.
working your blade here to shave them down, to form them as straight as you can. And how many arrows did we determine you can craft per day?
1d4. I'd have to open up the.
That's it. And that sounds familiar. I'll say that sounds fair, especially under the cover of darkness and such, and the resources you have at hand. So before you roll that d4, actually, no, go ahead and roll that d4, if you would, please.
I got 3.
3. All right, so 3 arrows you will have crafted by morning.
Nice.
And
Okay.
while I'm doing it, I'm gonna be like, Dad told me not to do it.
And Muriel and Balfour, if you both can roll me a d6, please.
It's a 2 and 3.
Okay. Rayla, as you begin kind of in darkness, randomly, so to speak. Infravision, yes, but randomly start kind of traversing around. Perhaps you even, start by making the exterior approach, right? Kind of work your way around, working that tactic, make the exterior approach, and then make ever narrowing, concentric quasi circles, right? Kind of do something like this, and kind of work your way and in hopes of encountering these 2 women. Rayla, can you roll me a D100, please? A percentile die.
D100.
Yep.
Could I roll a D10?
Yeah, so what you do is you roll 2 D10s. One of them is typically labeled 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and the other one is labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to 10. But if not, if you don't have that, just roll a D10, and that will be the 10s. Then you roll another D10, and that becomes the 1s.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't. Oh, here it is. Okay, here's my D100. Okay. So just a D10 and a D100, right?
Well, no, a D10 and a D10 makes the 100.
Okay, but I thought my
yes, yeah.
So
You're gonna have one of them that has the 10s places on it.
Yeah. All right.
sorry, what?
Okay. Yeah. Hang on. Stand by. Stand by.
Standing by.
Okay. So this here is your 10s.
Yeah, I found it. I couldn't find it for a second, so
Okay.
I did find
Right.
it.
And then you got your 1s. But if you don't have the pair, right? It's okay. What you do is you roll your 10, your D10, and that is your 10s. Then you roll it again, and that's your 1s.
Right.
Okay. All right. So roll me that D100, essentially your percentile dice that we're talking about.
Yep, D100 coming up. I got a 30.
30. Okay. and make me a D6, please.
D6. Okay. 6.
Okay. So as you are making your way around the interior cluster of these trees. Oops. I want to get rid of this other dot. Hang on a second. I want to get rid of this here. I'm not sure what that's about. Okay. So I'm going to remove the blue dot over here because you don't see him anymore. But as you are circling around the interior here of the tree cluster, right? Kind of doing one of these type things. Okay.
You're so brave.
So you make your way around. Okay. And you spend some time because you're moving very slowly, right? You're moving real slow because you're being quiet. And with every step you take, of course, you're making noise. There's pine needles. There's fallen dead leaves on the ground. And you're moving slow, but to make sure you can see where you're going. Okay. But when you make your way around like the second time, all right. So you make your way to about here on your second loop around. You see two figures a little further in to your right. So you have come this way, Rayla. Okay, you've come around and come around again, and you've come like this way. This is your direction you've been coming. Okay,
Okay.
and you're like right there at the tip of the arrow. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
to your right, you see two figures about 30 feet off to your right.
I'm going to
Oh,
freeze.
and please bear in mind as well that you are on a hillside. Okay, so you are trying to get my hand right for the camera. So you're on the hillside. So you've been kind of going up and down and narrowing up and down on that circle. Okay, so you are kind of like on your upswing, almost coming down to the downswing, and to your right, you see two figures about 30 or 40 feet out.
Okay, I'm going to freeze and drop to a crouch.
Okay,
Did they see me?
you don't know what they see.
Well, you do, so that's why I'm asking you.
Well, I know if they see you, but you don't know what they know.
Am I close? Well, I'm obviously close enough. Is it the two women I was looking for?
It does appear as though they could be them.
Do they look okay? Are they hurt in any way, or are they just bedding down for the night?
So it looks like they could be settling for the night. They are both sitting on the ground, and it looks like they're conversing with each other.
Can I hear what they're saying?
Make me a wisdom check. Muriel and Balfour, did you roll me a d6 yet?
2 and 3.
You did. Okay, thank you. Okay, and Muriel is studying again, as consistent as she is, sleep and charm person. And you've only utilized that charm person spell once or twice, I think, right?
Yeah, my fear is dropping it and needing
No.
to have it again.
She used it 3 times because it was on the hobgoblin.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Pacifica, and the one of the orcs.
Okay, and it was effective on the hobgoblin lady, who then was just brutally destroyed, I think, by Pacifica, actually.
Oh, she probably was.
Yeah, because you told him, said, "Oh, go protect us or go kill the orcs," and he just went up and found one and just laid her out.
Yeah, we don't want to get into
And then, so Pacifica, the orc, and then, the hobgoblin it was, and then on the orc, I think, in the orc caves, and that proved not to be effective for you. Okay, so Muriel and Balfour, the time is passing. I want to say passing slow as we're spending some time here with Rayla, but you are still on your second watch. You are whittling your arrows, finding some fine vines to make some like twine to wrap around the ends of your feathers to make your arrows, and of course you split the vein, the feather in the middle. You wrap it there a few times, and also at the tail end. Of course, that's just the one. You only wrap it once or twice to hold it in place. You work on the next vein, next feather, and then the third, and perhaps with your skill set still being on the younger, lesser experienced side that you only feel comfortable working 3 feathers on the arrow, not the 4. But it still provides you stable flight with pretty good accuracy by all means.
I don't even have a bow.
Rayla, so
Good for Rayla.
the conversation you're hearing from them is just very casual, kind of nonchalant chat about the day, about being here in the valley, and that they're here to, talk about their observations from the last time that they were out here.
I rolled a 3 on that wisdom check, by the way.
Thank you. So that's what you're hearing here at some distance as you're kind of crouching down and hiding behind a tree and maybe kind of turning your head a little bit, sticking your ear out, past the trunk of the tree to hear what they're talking about.
Okay. Do I hear anything of like vital importance about their mission or anything?
Really, not much different than what you heard them earlier. That they're here for observation. But the only thing you kind of catching you out of the ordinary with a roll of 3 that's catching your attention is that they are anxious to see what happens tonight in the valley. They're not concerned about the day. They're not concerned about tomorrow. And not to say they're concerned about tonight, but they're very interested to see what goes on tonight in the valley.
All right. So then, once I'm satisfied with the eavesdropping and whatnot, I'm going to slowly go back to the tree line, and then I want to go around to where I can see the knolls or the whatever they are again.
Okay, so you want to exit the tree cluster and make your way on the exterior, or you want to come back to like where you were?
I want to go back to where I am, but I want to have like a wide enough berth so that they won't see me.
Got you. Okay.
But stay in the trees.
Okay. Okay, I got you on that. So as you keep that wide berth and go on the perimeter, although interior, of the tree line and make your way back over to your observation spot. Right? Perhaps you stop there instead of traversing any further to catch bring any unwanted attention to yourself.
Yeah.
The knolls are not there. The campfire is still there, but the knolls are not.
Oh.
And time has passed now, so it's been we're measuring in hours your time of separation from the party. We're not at a point where we're talking about fatigue or really tiredness, ill effect, but I'm just pointing that out because time has passed. Like nightfall is truly upon you. It is nighttime. It is dark, maybe equivalent to 9 o'clock at night.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go up to the cave.
Oh,
Quietly, carefully.
love this girl so much. Yeah.
Erica's loving it because Erica doesn't have the kahunas to do that.
Oh, I love it.
Let me tell you, I'm on the 5th page of notes.
I know it's crazy too. This is a good.
Okay, so I want to go up to. I don't want to go into the cave yet. I just want to go up to the mouth of the cave and see if I hear anything or see anything.
So you make your way. You exit the tree cluster very slowly, like Homer Simpson coming out of that hedge, and you slowly begin to appear. And of course, you look around, look over your shoulder. You see nothing. You hear nothing. You begin to slowly, perhaps, Rayla, you take the easy route and come up here to the red line, which is a path, a horizontal path on your vertical slope. So the hillside comes down, you have a slight leveling, if you will, for the pathway, and then it, drops off again a little bit. No?
Not the easy path. Not the easy path. That's too.
Okay.
I'm worried too
right.
obvious.
So to avoid the path most traveled, perhaps you drop down the hillside a little bit into the brush, into the tall, heavy grass, staying low. What just happened to my screen? Oh no, I lost my mouse. Hang on. There it is.
Oh, yeah. It's back.
Hang on.
She's just going everywhere.
Okay, so
I mean,
you come down
is.
here a little bit, and start making your way back up the hillside here to the cave mouth. As you kind of make your approach, you see the fire is still burning. Well, you saw the fire was still burning, but you can kind of see that light falling upon you, identifying yourself. You can see your gear that you have. Now, Rayla or Marisha, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here, as you did not specify, and normally I would hold you to it. But did you go back and pick up your gear?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
Nope. I on my way back to camp, I'm gonna go and grab it. But
Okay.
no, I'm still.
I just want to make sure, because I know sometimes in our gameplay we forget these things, and
Nope.
and I normally hold you guys to it. So
If worse
okay.
comes to worse, I can get a new shield and spear.
If
I'm
worse
not
comes to
worried.
worse, you can run really fast. Okay, so you make your way up to the cave opening, but without breaching that field, if you will, right? That invisible plane that would put you into the cave. As you make your way to the threshold, so to speak, and you gaze in, it looks uncomfortably familiar. You've been here before. You know what happened, and things did not go well, and you remember that. So you approach this with a lot of trepidation, and you get to the foothold. Off to your right, the light is just shining upon your left side, creating almost a silhouette or backdrop for those who might be to your right, or if anyone was off to your right side. And as you look in, and you said you speak Knoll, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You don't see anything into this initial cave opening, which is approximately 30-foot spherical. Okay. I mean, it has a flat floor, but other than that, it's kind of spherical, a dome-like roof or ceiling to it. It is very natural in its shape, very natural in the wall structure. It has not been carved out by man or by creature. Very rough edges, very inconsistent, very rocky, but still dirt, hard packed all throughout. But often, and you see a faint flickering, inconsistent, if you will, of light off in the distance through the cave. And you hear some gnolls talking, but that's all that you can make out is the language. It's just an occasional, word or two here, word or two there, enough to identify that it is the gnoll language that's being spoken.
Can I get closer?
If you want to enter the cave, you can get closer, yes. I think my battery died. No, it didn't die.
Not the battery.
No, it's not. Oh, there we go.
Gnolls in the entrance of the cave, correct?
I'm sorry, say that again?
I don't see the gnolls in the entrance of the cave.
No, you do not. No, ma'am.
All right, I want to look into the cave then, like full on move and kind of move my head more into the cave. What do I see? What can I see?
Let's zoom in on that a little bit.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, so if you, Rayla, let me get our purple dot here. Let me just make sure we're still to scale. Okay, that's a little too big for scale. Hang on. So if you, Rayla, are standing right here at the threshold, okay, that means your line of sight would be this.
Okay.
Okay? You have infravision, 60 feet. We're on a 10-foot grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can see approximately that far.
All right. What do I see when I
Okay.
look into?
So when you look in, as you gaze in, you see that this next chamber, although only partially visible to you, despite being fully visible here on the map, and that's because you guys have explored this before. Um, so I guess I really could do this, right? This is for our purposes here. Let's do this. In all seriousness, let's do this. This is what you can see.
Yep.
Okay? Now, well, that's as far as you can see. The question is, what do I see? Okay? You see the glistening of light off here coming from the right. You also see a little bit here flickering here to the right. So the left and the right, you see a little bit of flickering of light. Presumably a torch. Maybe it's definitely more illumination than a candle. So presumably a torch. Your experience would be pretty comfortable saying that it's some sort of torch illumination. And here within, I don't know what color I should use. I'm going to use dark orange, maroon, okay? To signify my next marker point, okay? Just barely at distance, you see a gnoll, a male gnoll. Now remember, a gnoll in their physical appearance looks like a biped, an erect hyena.
Yep.
So they are not the most attractive creature you're going to run into. But they have proved a very formidable opponent for the party.
Can I still can't hear anything. I still can't make out what they're saying.
So you're really not any closer than you were before. You've just kind of repositioned your angle to get a better visual. Hold that thought. Meanwhile, back at camp, as time is continuing to pass, Muriel and Balfour, almost ready for you guys to tap out. And of course, I know it'd be on Muriel's mind of where the hell is Rayla? Is she dead? Is she alive? Like, where is Rayla?
Before, as I wake up, the next, I think it's Alicia who's got the last.
No, it's Pacifica and Malachi.
Have the last?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I would wake them, and I would say specifically to Malachi that Rayla hadn't returned yet. Because I assume they've been sleeping since we went originally.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, maybe not the highest of quality or a little inconsistent, but yeah, they've been sleeping all night. Since just after you guys had settled in for camp, didn't make your campfire, partook of some rations and some drink, and once you guys kind of truly got settled in, like boom, they were down. Pacifica in particular. So you convey your somewhat vague concern to Malachi. Well, specific concern of that she hasn't returned, but vague as to her whereabouts, as her whereabouts are completely unknown. In the valley, out of the valley, in a cave. I mean, nothing.
No
So
clue.
he responds to that and says, well, Muriel, what? I mean, there's nothing we can do at this point. I mean, the only thing we can do is all of us get up and somehow search the valley in the middle of the night. I can't see a damn thing out here.
No, and we've got people who need to stay sleeping so that they recover. So why don't we just leave and be? And if she's not back by morning, we'll go look for her.
Well, that's fair at daybreak, but haven't heard any good things about the valley altogether, and certainly not at night.
No.
So, I mean, if she's gone out this long by herself here in the valley,
She's definitely back.
I can't imagine it's going to fare well for her. This is rather unsettling.
Muriel, remind Malachi that I took down 5 orcs single-handedly. Fine.
She might be
Get a
offended
sense.
by that. I picture her voice in the back of my head kind of being offended by that suggestion. But let's give her the benefit of the doubt, and she's a ranger. She might be fine.
Well, I mean, yeah, I understand, Miro. I mean, that's all we can do is give her the benefit of the doubt. But let's be realistic here. This may not fare well for her. to be out here by herself like this, with nothing conveyed to us as to what her plan was or when she might return.
That was totally on her.
I was I was going to say,
But
I mean, I don't know her well enough to say that this is uncharacteristic, but as a group, like that's unacceptable.
I just hope when she comes back, she's learned something. If she comes back.
I mean, she's not a dog. It's not like she caught a scent and the dog runs off after a scent.
Oh my
I'm
God. That actually sounds exactly like what she might have done.
Well, it sounds like that's what she did, but I'd like to be able to give her more credit than that.
Well, I was able to make 3 arrows. I'm tired, and I'm not gonna be able to sleep now. No, I will. I'll be fine. I trance. Anyway, okay.
Yeah, I was about to
Um,
say you trance.
okay. But I will trance. I will think about what we could do in the morning, maybe.
Okay. Pacifica and Malachi, both roll me a d6, please.
All right. A 1.
All right, Erica, you can roll for Pacifica. I know he's yours, but not yours.
No, he's played by. Wait,
No,
no,
no, he.
just kidding. 3. I rolled
Three.
a 3.
Okay. And what else? What did you get for Malachi?
A 1.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, shift change, the second shift change. So, we are about 6 hours or so, 7 hours, 8 hours from the time that Rayla has separated from the party. Solid 6. Actually, she left before you guys made camp. Yeah, so we're at 6 to 8
Yeah, we
hours.
hadn't even arrived at our camp yet.
Yeah, so she's definitely incognito here, to say the least. So, Rayla, you are back here at the foothold, the threshold, if you will, of this cave J, known to be the Knolls, for which you catch a glimpse of one off there in the distance.
I can't believe you went back there by yourself.
I mean, it's fascinating to watch, but all
I'm
right.
enthralled with what she's gonna do next.
Um, I'm going.
Chaos Goblin.
How well lit is this cave?
The initial chamber, the more spherical-like chamber, is not really illuminated at all. Okay,
Okay.
your
How?
infravision is granting you that. The next chamber, it seems it's faint. It's flickering. It's faint, so not strong, but it is. You can't really see much past your infravision as the illumination, while present, again is weak.
Okay, that's yeah. And how close do I have to be to someone to hear at least? It doesn't have to be 100%, but at least
Well,
get a fair amount of information
that
on what you're saying.
is a question with a convoluted answer, because that's going to have a lot of variables involved, right? How loud are they speaking? How many of them are speaking? What are the acoustics that might provide you, to be able to aid you and be able to hear that? So I can't give you a definitive answer on that.
Are there any torches or anything in that first area of the cave?
Nothing, nothing,
I'm
nothing,
gonna
nothing.
crouch
Yeah.
down. I'm gonna crouch down and go along the very top to that big area, like the corner in that big area.
Okay. Let me get your purple dot here. So you want to kind of come on in here and do this.
Yes. No, 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 no. Up to the corner. I don't want to go down further. I just want to stay in the corner. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Can I hear anything better?
You're good.
Okay.
I know.
She's being ballsy. Okay. So in terms of visual, okay. Now I guess at this point I should kind of paint this back over. You can't see this section. So, and let's go ahead and do that since we are. Okay. So that's about what you can see, Rayla. Okay, in terms of angles and everything.
Mhm.
Okay. But and bear with me here because we're going to do it like this. There is, I don't have like a brown color. I'm going to have to do black or dark gray.
Okay.
Okay, so there is a table here.
Okay.
Okay, and at the table there are some chairs. Okay, sitting at said chairs. Sitting at said chairs, you see. Okay, I'm trying to bear with me here, and I keep going back and forth. I probably waste too much time doing this for you guys, but you see a knoll, and my paint application's freaking out. But you see 3 gnolls sitting at that table. 2 have their back to you as they're facing each other. 2 have their back to you, and 1 would be facing your direction.
Okay. Do I hear anything? Do I make out anything that they're saying?
So make me a wisdom check on that, please.
All right. Here's nothing. I got a 3 with that.
So you hear them discussing about how, or they're discussing, they're debating of who's going to go out on the hunting party tonight, and what is it they're going to hunt tonight, as the wildlife, the deer, have been inconsistent, unreliable for them here over the past couple weeks. So perhaps the goblins will make a tasty meal tonight.
Okay. I'm going to sneak out
Okay.
very slowly, very carefully, very quietly. I'm a shadow.
Okay. So as you make your way in, right, you kind of crouch down in the cover of the complete darkness, and you listen, and you astutely listen. And as you feel comfortable, content, if you will, that you've heard enough of the conversation to make the decision that I've heard enough, it's time for me to exit, I need to get out of here. While not making haste, as you're wise enough not to be hasty, because hasty means quick, right? Quick means noise. So you take your time cautiously to begin to kind of slowly drift your way out, nudge your way out. And purple. And you get to about here, and you hear a voice call out in Knoll that says, "Who's that there?"
I'm going to get out of the cave and not answer.
Are you maintaining your slow, steady, cautious pace, or are you being a little more expeditious?
They're sitting down. I'm going to be a little more expeditious and make for the trees where the ladies are.
Okay. All right, Rin, you got that? Because we are at time.
Oh, come on. Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, it's 9 o'clock.
Can we do like
and don't say, oh, there's 7 minutes left. Yes, I know there's 7 minutes left.
53.
Because I know that's where you're going to
I
go.
just want to say,
I have to get up at 5.
Today's MVP, that was so entertaining. Raylan's exploration, like random exploration, was like.
Question.
Yes.
Is it Odalia or Dahlia?
Idalia.
Idalia.
Idalia and Jabra.
Okay.
Idalia and Jabra.